Welcome to Altitude Adjustment. My name is Mario Vitanzi. That handsome bastard is Patrick Chiotti. And tonight we will be joined by Terrell Davis, is something that Pat recently got to say because Pat and Bree got to have Terrell Davis on their show.
Yeah.
But he will not be here tonight. Sorry for the confusion.
Just
But
in
this
our
is
hearts.
Altitude Adjustment.
Hey, feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up.
All right, Patrick, I'm just going to hit the ground running here, and I'm going to say what I think a lot of Broncos country is thinking or should be thinking. They didn't lose the game because Sean Payton opted to go for it on 4th and 1 and not kick a field goal. And I don't want to hear all of the crap about the weather and like you have to take the points there, and you knew that a blizzard was coming in and points would be hard to come by. Here's the thing, man. First and foremost, that's what Sean's done all year. In that situation, in that territory, you got 4th and 1, 4th and 2. He's going for it. And I get it. Like, you had Jarrett Stidham, you didn't have Bo Nix, you didn't have your normal quarterback, but they're not changing anything, Pat. You wanted to win this game. They wanted to do so by being aggressive and by being the same team and hoping that there wouldn't be this immense drop off from Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham. And obviously there was. But my God, man, a football game never comes down to one play. And you know that better than anybody, Pat. You coach football, you've played football, you know almost everything there is to know about football. And it is so close-minded to come out and think that a 60-minute football game is decided by a singular play. Now, are there plays that are more important than others? Absolutely. Was the fact that they didn't convert that 4th down a massive play? Absolutely. But you know what else was a massive play? Aside from the Jarrett Stidham fumble, which of course was, in a sense, the majority of the game, right? It had the biggest impact in terms of plays. But we saw yet another dropped interception from Talanoa Hufanga, another ball that hit him right in the hands, right in the chest that he didn't come away with. We saw
should have been a pick six.
Should have been a pick six. Would have been a pick six. We saw an inept running game, which I guess we should have prepared for because that's really how the running game has been ever since Dobbins went down. We saw, again, another scheduled Cortland Sutton drop. In fact, I think he had 2 or 3. We saw a massive drop from Lil Jordan Humphrey on what could have been a massive conversion later in the game. And here's the thing on that play. That's a tough catch.
That's tough.
I understand that. But in those conditions, Pat,
gotta catch it.
You got to make plays. Like, you know that you're not going to get a lot of good balls from either quarterback in those conditions. It was a perfectly thrown ball. You're not going to get a lot of those. It was a key 3rd and down. Their punter had just shanked it. You were in really good territory, really good field positioning. And that was a large part of the game. And there were so many other aspects of that game that did not go the Broncos' way. And at the end of the day, and I'll let you, obviously want to hear your 2 cents on all of this. The bottom line is, Pat, we knew going into this game to have a chance to win, everybody else was going to have to step their game up. Everybody, like the receivers were going to have to play better. The running backs were going to have to play better. The offensive line was going to have to play better. And point blank period, they didn't step up the way that they needed to. Nick Bonito didn't register a sack. Quinn Miners had arguably his worst game in the NFL. Hell of a time to choose to do so. And here we are talking about what could have been instead of what will be.
Yeah. That's a tough one, man. That was just – it was a rough go. And you kind of knew it was going to be a rough go. Like, I put out a couple tweets. I mean, shit. I put out a couple.
Pat's probably not fumbling that pass. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm throwing that thing away. I'm throwing that thing into the second row of the stands, and I am living.
Someone's going home with a souvenir.
Amen. Put out a tweet a couple days before the game. Just talking about what I saw from New England's defense, watching the Chargers game and the Houston game over again, and they're a good run defense, and that's just plain and simple. I knew that coming in, and if they were going to win that game, then it was going to have to be with Jarrett Stidham playing a complete a complete offensive game, like just executing, right? And there were certain times where it was just like, they talked all week about, oh, this guy's been in the system for 3 years and da 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 da, and he's a veteran at this point. It didn't look like I was watching a veteran out there. It looked like I was watching someone who had a grasp of the offense, and was basically just looking for man and zone the entire time. That was it. We're not making any big adjustments. I mean, hell, if we want to get nitpicky, we'll talk about
nitpicky. That's why we're here.
I saw so many people, and I know someone said it in the chat, but that third down before the long Lutz mitts, that one haunts me because sorry, I'm reading one of these comments. That one haunts me because you had the Patriots playing completely off. Every single one of their DBs, they had 4 guys deep, about 12 to 15 yards off the ball, and all you need is 4 yards. You're in a tight formation. You've got Marvin Mims and Evan Ingram on the same side of the ball. And instead of being a quarterback and saying, okay, all of their DBs are deep. Like they literally have a mugged up front right now, and all of their DBs are deep. I can just change the play call and take an easy throw to the boundary where there's fucking nobody. Nobody is out there. The corner's fucking way off deep. Both the safeties are deep. The other corner's way deep. Why do we still go through with the play that was called, which was a post and a drag? And it wasn't a good move by Stidham. In my opinion, it was not a good move. I would be sitting down with my quarterback and saying, okay, we need to talk about situational football, because in this scenario, we still can, like, we could get a first down here. We could run 3 more plays, and then we can kick an easier field goal and burn a bunch of time off the clock. Instead, we just stay with the play, not taking what the defense is giving us. And that was infuriating. Go after the snap. Evan Ingram is running directly in front of Stidham's face from hash to hash, and just nothing. We just you don't try to shovel it then. You try to shovel it when you're backpedaling 20 yards going towards the opposing end zone. Like, what are we doing?
He did that a lot, Pat. Like, he bailed quickly, but he went straight backwards.
Can't blame him. He's trying to get deep drops. But again, yes, the blame is not on one person, and it's not on one play. It's the overarching theme of this. Okay. Yeah. I understand fans want to talk and discuss this and argue this on the internet for everybody to see. But the reality is, like you said, the entirety of the game is what you have to look at. And it's not just the coach making a bad play call. It is the players on the field not executing what they need to do. It is the offensive line not playing at their highest level. This is the AFC Championship game. This is not week 2. This is not early season when you can just go oopsie and look at it in the film room and make it better next week. No, that is not this. This is, you have to be on your P's and Q's. And I'm going to tell you again, yes, Sean Payton is to blame for this. Absolutely. But so is Stidham. So is Bowles, McGlinchey, Miners, Powers, Wattenberg. My goodness. I didn't see anybody talking about Wattenberg on the timeline. Good Lord. Guy was getting his shit beat in for 4 quarters. But yeah, let's blame Sean Payton, because that's the easy thing to do. And he is the head coach. He is the offensive play caller. Absolutely. He has to take that blame, right? Cortland Sutton with some big drops in that game. Marvin Mims had a great play. But you know what? On the interception, Mario, if Marvin turns his fucking head when he is supposed to, that thing's probably not getting picked off. I'll just tell you right now. Okay. Once again.
And that gets back to the reasons that you've given all season as to why Marvin Mims isn't getting more snaps. And people are clamoring for it. People who cover the team, who are actively lobbying for Mims to get more snaps. And that was the epitome of what Pat has talked about, what I've talked about all season, what Pat has shown you on film of how he dogs routes that he knows are not coming to him.
Brother, I'll tell you right now, I'm literally watching the playback as we speak. He gets about 10 yards down the field, and his shoulders go from, granted it's in the snow, but he doesn't turn his head until he's at 20 yards. If it's a go ball, you have to be turning your head no later than 15. So what does that tell me? That tells me that he thought that he was not the priority on this play. And once again,
and he knew it.
He is jogging to it. He tries to restack Christian Gonzalez and just like runs into the sideline. And Gonzalez already is seeing the ball come the entire way.
Right. Gonzo ran that route better than Marvin Mims did. He ran that route
he just sat over the top of him because, my goodness, it's literally for the game. They're probably going to try and take a deep shot here, but they had crossers. They had a crosser coming across. It was just sticky coverage.
He actually did have Will Jordan Humphrey breaking open on that crosser too. Yeah,
he had to get it out.
Really quick, I wanna pull attention. Apple Kid, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. Thank you for the comment. In my opinion, the Broncos lost because they didn't have their quarterback. It wasn't the fourth down. Instead, he gifted them the touchdown. And on top of that, if we had Bo, truly believe they score. I don't disagree with anything that you're saying, Apple Kid. And you're right. The Broncos win this game, probably going away with Bo Nix. But here's the thing. They could have and should have won this game with Jarrett Stidham. Now, what would have happened in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks, that would have been a completely different discussion. But what we're talking about is how this team still should have won. It's easy to say, oh, we would have won and we would have won big with Bo Nix. Yeah. And I don't think there's a single person in their right mind who would ever argue that, unless they work at the Fan or they used to work at the Fan and they're trying to get visceral reactions and clicks for stupid hot takes. Okay, those are the only people that will peddle the bullshit that this team doesn't win with Bo Nix. But to take it a step beyond that, once again, this was a very winnable game, even with the Stidham fumble. That's 7 points. Okay, 7 points. They scored 10 points all told. So if you really think that that's the only reason that they lost, you got to pay attention to the rest of the game. And that's what we're talking about right now. There were ample opportunities. There were so many bad plays, so much poor execution. And moreover on that, Pags, I know you mentioned the offensive line, and I want to focus on that a little bit. When Russell Wilson was the quarterback, this offensive line was considered to be bad, correct? Because they gave up a lot of sacks, people looked at the box score, and then, if you want to delve into the advanced analytics, and I don't know how they would track this, but turns out Russell Wilson ran himself into a lot of those sacks. Then Bo Nix comes around, who is elite at avoiding sacks. Then all of a sudden, the offensive line perhaps is getting too much credit for what they were able to do. The guys like Garrett Bowles, who's very good. Guys like Mike McGlinchey, who's very good. Guys like Quinn Miners, who's very good. Maybe we're put up on a little bit of a pedestal, and we were okey-doke just a smidge because you saw a quarterback in Bo who, again, was elite at not taking sacks, getting the ball out, finding space, scrambling when he needed to, that when you got a sort of mobile quarterback who saw the field fairly well, the offensive line imploded. Yeah. And if you need more proof that maybe they're not as good as they're built up to be with a standard quarterback, look at the run game. And Pat, I'm gonna defer to you here. How are you one of the best pass blocking offensive lines, and you are completely and utterly useless as a run blocking offensive line? And you can say what you want about RJ Harvey. You can say what you want about Jaleel McLaughlin. Obviously, you're better off with J.K. Dobbins, who has incredible vision. It shouldn't have been that bad. How many times were we seeing RJ Harvey get hit in the backfield? Pat, even on some of his best runs, some of his 9-10 yard runs, the play got blown up. And
Yeah.
Harvey made a good play in the backfield. There were even some he should have been tackled for 2-3 yard losses, and he was able to scrounge 1 or 2 yards out of it. Blame RJ Harvey if you want, and certainly there is some blame that should fall on him. But he ended up having a
Perfect.
much better game than he should have based on how this offensive line was. So I guess my question to you, Pat, is this offensive line really as good as we think they are, and we've kind of been told that they are? Or is that kind of, maybe more of a Bo Nix result?
They are, if I'm remembering correctly, they are like middle of the pack in the league in run success. And that kind of just shows like they're the after the loss in Buffalo last year, the talk was like, oh, we need to get tougher up front. We need to get meaner in the trenches. And then you run it back with the same offensive line, right? Same offensive line that you couldn't push around Buffalo last year in the run game. You got your shit pushed in. New England is a very big, tough defensive front. And like I said in those tweets, they fill very well. Like they are a legitimate run defense team. Like they made the Broncos O-line their bitch, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And
straight up and down.
Yeah, no, you don't have Bo, and that sucks. But like, if you want it bad enough, you're gonna do what it takes to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You just beat Buffalo. Like, you just got your revenge. And then you put out a performance like that.
And to clarify, we're not talking about Stidham. We're talking about the team.
I'm talking about the offensive line. I am talking to those 5 guys up front. I am talking specifically. I am talking to those 5 gentlemen. What happened?
None of them played well enough.
Why did you let this team come into your house and take your fucking lunch money, play after play after play? Like you love your quarterback so much, and you have his back. You love all the guys in this locker room, but you guys got sunned. Like, you got sunned. And yeah, it was a 3-point game, and that's fantastic. But like, holy crap. If you're coming into film room on Monday and you're in the offensive line room and you say, yeah, I'm really proud of how I played, I'm back slapping you across the face. What do you mean? What are we talking about? My goodness. We missed assignments. We let guys lay us.
Do you have the play pulled up?
I have the play pulled up. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I've got the play pulled up.
So let's discuss this. As we're talking about how the offensive line was not nearly good enough, and since the main topic of discussion here tonight is the 4th down decision and how everybody wants to blame Sean Payton, was it a great play call? Probably not the best. You're probably not running inside, though, because like you just said, Pat, they are incredibly good on the defensive front. They were not getting any sort of push. And I know people are like, oh, just fall forward for a yard. They weren't getting the push. I don't think it would have been the right call to like turn and hand to Adam Prentice to try and fall forward for a yard. So here's the play in question. The infamous 4th down play that some people inexplicably, Pat, think will like go down in Broncos lore along with the Raheem Moore play. And we're going to break down, more specifically, Pat's going to break down and tell you why this wasn't necessarily a terrible decision. And in my opinion, the more I watch this play, Pat, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, this is bad execution more so than it was even a bad play call.
This was terrible execution. Okay. So
walk us through it.
Let's look at some things here. First and foremost, okay, we are in 12 personnel. We've got Troutman and Adkins down here attached to the line. This is little Jordan Humphrey. This is Cortland Sutton. Now, this personnel grouping, I would say this is running the ball, okay? Because we got a really good blocker out here. We got a really good blocker out here. Now, what I don't super love, okay? Now, if we look here, these are our 2 safeties, okay? They are sitting tight. They are sitting tight to the line, okay? About 8-ish yards off the ball. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we always count from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. On 1, 2, 3, 4. We got bodies. We got bodies out here. Okay. Let's count from the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we wanted. Okay. So we actually do have numbers to the field side. Or yeah. This would be boundary side. Excuse me. So we have numbers to the boundary side. Okay. Strong right. And this is called RB running back. It would be H fast in my book. And then this would we would call this something like this, like cheetah, right? So what we're going to get here pre-snap. To me, this looks like straight across man. This is 0 the whole way, okay? The safety will have the running back, we'll have the corner out here. This linebacker is going to be responsible, or he's blitzing probably, if they actually flash run. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys coming across. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in protection if we want them to, but 2 guys have to run routes. So, or 1 guy has to run a route. So realistically, we have 6. So we have 6 on 6. This guy is preparing for the run. Okay, he is absolutely prepared for the run. Patriots are going to tighten up this front, okay, because they might be expecting something inside. They motion in Lil Jordan Humphrey. This is important. This guy keeps his leverage. Okay. He has inside leverage the whole way. He keeps it. Now, we show fast. Spaghetti.
And real quick, take a look at Mike McGlinchey and take a look at who's behind him.
Now,
take a look at Quinn Miners.
Yes. Now,
here's what we're
trying to do. Okay. Now, this may have been a not necessarily a mistake, but this might have the switch to a tight might have just fucked them up. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fan everything out this way. Okay, so we can get the naked boot action. We want to make this linebacker shoot over there. Okay, but what happens is we get 2 guys on 1 guy. Can you see that number for me? Can you see that number? What number is that, Mario?
That looks like number 60, Pat.
That looks like number 60 to me. Anyways, I digress. You get Quinn, who's just slow off the ball. My goodness. This is not a good rep at all. Ball's gone. And we're worried about this guy coming inside. That's not your guy. That's not your fucking guy. What are we doing?
And it looks like Quinn olays him a little bit, Pat.
Well, it's better from the tight. I'll show it from the tight. But anyways, I digress. Now we get Lil Jordan trying to sell a little block. He's putting his hands up. Look, I'm not grabbing him, ref. I'm not grabbing him, to make him go. Okay, so what this route combination is you have a corner from Troutman. You've got a crosser coming across, okay, from Sutton. Lil Jordan is going to chip, and then he's going to sit in space. And then you've got RJ Harvey with a fast flat, okay, towards the sideline. What we're trying to do is we're trying to hit this guy right away. But we have pressure in our face, and this guy is still playing outside leverage. He was manned up on the running back the whole time. This is great disguising by New England, something that other teams had talked about. This is great disguise coverage. So corner's taken away. That's fine. We don't give a shit about that. What we really care about is if this guy's not available, that this guy comes open, and he was open. However, it is really hard to set your feet and throw a football when you have 2 ginormous mountains of humans right in your face. Okay. Now let's look at it from the tight side. Obviously it was almost almost an interception, ends up incomplete. Yeah, whatever. We'll take that. That's fine. So once again, we're going to count this guy. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We know the corner's out there. So we got center, guard, tackle, wide receiver. That's 4 on 3. I'll take that any day. Okay. And then we got 1, 2, 3. Now you can really see them Little shift to tight. Okay. So now both of the A gaps and the B gaps are taken. That's what they're doing. They are controlling this right here. And we'll see. Okay. For this pass protection, the offensive line has to be communicating who has who, especially after the shift. So center ideally would go here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then receiver has his route. And then we're going right here. This guy's matched up. He's got a blocking assignment out here. He's got a route. Okay.
Sounds simple enough to me, Pat.
Sounds simple enough. Let's take a look at it. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Somebody whiffs on their block. You know what's funny, Mario? The guy who whiffed on this or did not communicate to the rest of the offensive line that he was going out there is the guy who is snapping the fucking ball. That is his responsibility.
Wait a second.
Now
It's
listen,
back.
great story. You get injured. Alex Forsyth sits in there for a few weeks and then he gets injured. Hey, I'm back for the AFC Championship game. Boys, let's get this. And then you do some shit like this. It could have been there. It could have been there. All he has to do is attack this outside shoulder here. This guy's probably thinking, holy shit, he didn't even touch me. Well, this is great. I just have a free.
He kind of hesitates a little bit, like he's shocked that nobody tried to block him.
He's expecting the contact, and Wattenberg just lets him go. Now, listen, if they called it this way, wow, incredible. But Zach Strief, this has to be a point of emphasis during the offseason. The communication has to be there because we have 2 fucking guys blocking the same guy. It's a numbers game. You have to match up correctly. Otherwise, this shit does not work. So yeah, no shit. The fourth.
And he runs straight up the A gap, untouched.
Now again, we also have Quinn Miners. Like Quinn is almost like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, I wouldn't necessarily blame this on Quinn. This isn't the rep that I would pin him. But like this, again, this is all communication starting with 60. Okay. You have numbers across the line. All you have to do is point and say, you, me. You take him. I got here. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Literally everyone on the offensive line block one guy. Just figure out who and be on the same page and just block a guy.
It's so fucking easy. Now, 94 and 97, 2 guys that should have been blocked now have a free release to the quarterback.
You have 2 guys with a free release, and then you have Powers and Wattenberg both blocking the same guy while 2 guys go untouched. And then it kind of ends up being 3 because then McGlinchey gets beat, can't hold. So really, he's got 3 guys potentially in his face here.
It almost makes me think that they had called duo here or something, and something was missed in communication because Miners, like McGlinchey comes down. He doesn't normally, if it was numbers, he's got 97. Quinn has 95. That does not happen here. So what happens? We get 2 guys right in his face. Now,
and there's not a single person on the planet that could ever find a way to get this ball to Courtland Sutton at any point.
No, not even Bo Nix is getting that thing there. Now,
nobody's doing it.
This is important. So LJ does a good job. He's going to go find space. That's fantastic. But if those 2 guys are blocked for even a fraction of a second, it makes a massive difference because then
just hinder them a little bit. Just get in their way a little bit.
Stidham is able to see that this corner is not following LJ. He has outside leverage, and then that means we get our eyes back to 14. Okay, this could have been a first down. This maybe could have been a touchdown if we execute.
And why don't you really quick while it's frozen here? Take a look at Miners and McGlinchey. who are standing staring at Stidham with two 300-pound linemen in his face with their backs turned to the line. That
Body
is
language.
never, ever something that you want to see.
No. And
They knew that they
my
fucked that up,
goodness.
Pat.
My goodness. Yeah, the whole fucking line should be ashamed of how they played.
So here's what we're talking about to circle back. Was it the best play call? Not necessarily. Should it have worked if it was executed correctly? Yes, absolutely. And in that sense, doesn't that mean that it was in fact a good play call and by extension a good decision? And here's the thing. Not only did the Broncos fuck this up, the Patriots did a phenomenal job. Everybody knew their assignment. Everybody executed their assignment. Everyone on that Patriots defense was on the same page. And it feels like not a single person on the Broncos offensive line was on the same page.
I don't
And that's
think a lot
exactly
of
why the play didn't work. So
I don't
if you
think a
want
lot of the
to blame
team was on
Sean
the same
Payton, if you want to blame Sean Payton for going forward in that situation, and you want to ignore the fact that he went for it in that situation throughout the entire season, really throughout his entirety of being in Denver, then make sure that you understand the big picture. This play should have been a first down, and like you said, potentially could have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
The execution doomed this play from the start. So if
Story
you
of the fucking
put
season.
the blame on this play, then put it on Wattenberg, put it on Miners, put it on McGlinchey, put it on Powers.
I think like the whole game, it was just the whole game, it just seemed like there was miscommunication. This is the fumble play, right? And I think Chase Daniel already put out a video about this. Oh my God.
Apparently, we're not going to be able to watch it.
Oh no, the NFL is striking us. Oh geez. Oh Lord. No, if you look at the fumble and you were listening to the broadcast, you heard them say kill, 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 and then reload. Now, any numbnuts with a brain who's played football before understands what reload means. It means, hey, we're running the play that we originally called, okay? The top play. And this just screamed miscommunication the whole way. Now, people were like, why is Stiddy was backing up. He was taking some deep drops in this game. Now, some of that is because of the play that is called. It requires you to take a deeper drop. Some of it was, yikes, bad mechanics, miscommunication, just a whole plethora of stuff. This is a screenplay. Okay, this was supposed to be a screenplay the whole way. He is communicating to the whole team, kill, 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 reload. One guy did not get the memo, even though he did the same signal as everybody else. Okay, which to me that was a little hilarious. But on a screenplay, you are supposed to drop back, deep drop, deep drop, deep drop to get the defense to sink to you.
Suck them in. Yep.
What was that?
Suck them in.
Suck them in. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Pat, because Bidet is getting a lot of grief, and you know he's gotten grief all season.
Right.
How much blame do you put on him for maybe not finding a soft spot for this screen, or was it just blown up and there's not a lot he can do? Because it kind of feels like he retreats back. So go ahead and run it through a little bit.
Bidet doesn't know that they're running the screen. That's the problem. Bidet does not know that they are running. He is supposed to slip through. Okay. We do our little fake. He's taking
so immediately see he's running
angle.
Backwards.
He's
running backwards here, Pat.
Angle. Wrong angle completely. We have to be working through the line, not around it.
Yes.
And that tells me that he thinks that this is a play action pass. Okay.
Pat, look at this real quick. If he was able, just pause it right here. Go back just a little bit. If he leaks through the line here, if
right
he
here.
goes forward instead of backward. And he works his way in here, which he should be able to do. They're not going to wrap him up and impede him. And he's small enough to fit through there. And you just dump it right over the defensive linemen that are running. If he's going forward, like if he ends up right by the numbers on the 30-yard line, and Stidham's able to drop this off to him, look at this space.
There's
at the top of the field.
Here. Little Jordan Humphrey making a great block, by the way. Why did they reset Little Jordan Humphrey? I don't know, because he blocks like this. Did you guys watch the first couple games of the season where we couldn't block like this on the outside? Interesting. Anyways, like this is textbook, baby. He is clearing out space. He is clearing out the low block for Shaq right now. This is insane.
Imagine if Bidet got to his spot? Look at this.
He's still going. He's still going. And then he breaks off. There's no one here. This is at least a 30-yard gain. At least. And you know what? This is why communication and details are so god dang important. Because it's shit like this. The guy said kill, 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 and then he said reload.
So are you putting this on?
I'm putting this on
Bidet.
This one's on Bidet.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's on Bidet. It's on Stidham for not making sure that Bidet knew that they were running that play. It's on Sean Payton for not making sure that Bidet understands if we call reload, that means we're resetting the play. It always goes up. Okay, it's on George.
AW wanted to point out, I heard an interview that Manning in his box immediately said, throw it away as soon as the ball is snapped. And here's why.
Yeah.
Manning recognized that Bidet is immediately going the wrong way. He is completely out of position. This is obviously supposed to be a screen. Bidet doesn't know what he's doing here. And again, like, we don't know the nuances. We don't know what the call was. We don't know what they were saying on the field. I tend to agree with you, Pat, that it's like clearly Bidet missed something, because if he's running a screen, he's not taking a wide angle and running backwards, basically in line with Jarrett Stidham. And I think to that point, what KW was talking about of what he heard with Peyton Manning recognized, and most quarterbacks are going to recognize, like, okay, my running back is supposed to be running a screen. He's run backwards 5 yards, inexplicably trying to run around this mass of humanity. Dirt it. Throw it in the dirt. Throw it away. And that's the biggest thing.
Are you not seeing what
arguably between Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix? If this happens to Bo Nix for whatever reason, immediately, and because we've seen him do this a lot, ball's going in the dirt right at Bidet's feet. Get out of there.
Get the ball out.
It was a third down play. Get out of there, and you're punting the ball away. Live to fight another day.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Here's Cortland Sutton.
What are you seeing?
Watch Cortland Sutton. Watch Cortland Sutton on this play. Just watch.
He got tackled.
That's not defensive holding? Mr. Official.
Interesting.
Mr. Official. Are we being for real? Especially in that situation too. I didn't even see that. That's the first time I'm seeing that. I would be irate. I would be losing my goddamn mind. Mr. Official, he just tackled our player at the 50, and look at him. He's putting his hand out like, bro, come on. That's crazy. It would have negated everything. That would have negated everything.
It would have been a first down.
5-yard penalty, first down. But then yes,
that makes this
right.
That's going to make the rest of the show much more difficult for me to get through, because that's the cherry on top of the shit sundae.
So yes, you're absolutely right. In that situation, especially when you're retreating so much, as a veteran NFL quarterback, you should have the wherewithal to say, shit, fuck, it's not going to happen. I need to get this ball out. I need to get it out. You're outside of the tackle box. Throw the ball away. But then seeing the holding downfield, my goodness, that's a terrible no call, Mr. Official. And then
right in front of him too.
People are going to be upset about the 4th and 1 call for Denver. Can we be upset a little bit about the 4th and 1 conversion for New England? That was crazy. He did not get there. He did not get there at all. He was short.
Not even remotely close.
And what's funny is if you watch the broadcast, go feel free. Anybody who's watching this, go watch the broadcast replay and watch where the side judge comes down and watch his spot. It's short. It's short by like half a yard.
It's well short. Yeah.
And dude, and then the overhead angle, we saw Sean talking about, look at the overhead angle, look at the overhead angle. Dude, he did not get there. I don't know how they looked at that and said, "Oh yeah, that's definitely a cross."
Well, and here was their reasoning and their excuse is that, well, they called it a first down. There wasn't enough to overturn it. To which I say, that's hot bullshit because there was plenty of evidence.
They didn't even measure.
Now let's circle back. The Broncos did not lose this game because of the officials. It certainly would have helped if it was, officiated
they were
correctly.
Letting them play. They were letting them play all game long.
And you know what,
fine.
Pat? And I'm okay with that. That's how it should be in this kind of a game. And here's the thing, like, bummed about, what we just saw with what could have been a Cortland Sutton hold. The fact that they didn't call it, though, Pat, it's not going to break my mood. It's really not. Because in that instance, that's going to be a chintzy call. And if it were on Denver, where the same exact play, but it was the Patriots, and they call a defensive hold on Denver on Riley Moss, probably. In fact, if it was Riley Moss, I guarantee you that is being called. But anybody else, like, I don't have a big problem with it being called because of the nature of the situation and the game. It's like
that one is crazy.
If you're letting them play, then that was
bad. Like, it's one thing if they're hand fighting and they trip each other up. But brother, he's got his hand fully on his shoulder. He is pulling him down. I'm sorry. That should have been called. That is a big miss by the NFL officials.
I don't disagree.
And
I don't disagree.
They come after me. That was crazy. That's a crazy no call. And I'm screaming. He's actively trying to get his hands off of him, and he still gets pulled down to the ground. Mr. Official, what the fuck are we looking at?
Fair point.
Bring up this comment. The Cake J comment. No shit. No shit. I mean, my goodness. You're preaching to the choir here. You're preaching, and I don't.
Evan Ingram had one touchdown, Patrick. One. If you had told me, this is how weird this season was. If you had told me going into this season, hey, the Broncos are going to be 14-3. They're going to win the AFC West. They're going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Wow.
By the way, Evan Ingram finishes with under 500 yards and 1 touchdown. I'd be like, there's no way that Evan Ingram underperforms that much, scores fewer touchdowns than Nate Atkins and Adam Troutman the year before, and that they're somehow that good of a team.
Had more drops than touchdowns this year. We got we wanted Jacksonville Jaguars Evan Ingram. We got New York Giants Evan Ingram. Like,
hate to see it.
Hate to see it, man. But yeah, dude. Everybody should be clamoring, begging, pleading for Denver to draft Kenyon Sadiq. Begging. Oh, but they're gonna have to trade up for him. Who gives a shit?
Then do it.
Are you kidding me?
Do it.
Do it.
Then do it. You got plenty of picks, and we're gonna get to that. This would be nice.
You want to pick another Caleb Loner? You want to pick another Caleb Loner? Ooh, can't trade up for Kenyon Sadiq because Caleb Loner might be in the 4th round. Who knows? Give me
that's a good transition because I want us to talk about like a general draft strategy. At some point, we'll do a mock draft like we did last year. At some point, we'll have a draft special show. We'll have Andy on, who's one of the most brilliant draft minds that I've ever seen. I think he's at Andy NFL, maybe 2 or 3 Ys. Andy, if you're watching right now, go ahead and drop your @ so I can promote you. He puts out film. He does incredible scouting. We're going to have him on the show to talk a little bit more deeply about needs. But before we get to that, Pat, something that we're going to have to iron out before the draft is deciding which of these free agents are going to be in Broncos uniforms next year. So we're going to start with the unrestricted free agents. Sam Ellinger, he's not coming back. Adam Prentice or Michael Burton, I would assume one or the other.
I'd say Prentice.
So let's start with J.K. Dobbins. And here's the thing about Dobbins. We love Dobbins. Clearly, Dobbins loves being in Denver. He literally just said he's a Bronco for life, and he spent half a year here. Okay. Yeah. Are you bringing back J.K. Dobbins? And if so, what is that looking like?
Yeah, I am. And, I know he's going to get hit with the injury tag, and I completely understand, and I don't blame people.
I have a solution to that, Pat.
What's that?
I have a solution. So you bring back J.K. Dobbins, 1-year deal, minimum, maybe a little bit more. And since you know that you're only going to get about 8 to 10 games out of it, 8 to 10 really good games. He was top 5 in rushing before he went down. You are going to start him on the PUP list to begin the season.
Ooh.
And you are going to keep him there until about week 11, week 12.
Oh, my. Why so late?
That is what. Why not?
Are you
getting more? Are you getting more than 10 games out of him?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're not going to know unless you try. Not. No.
So let's say you activate him at week 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Maybe there's a bye in there. That's 8 games right there. And then you have between 3 or 4 potential playoff games if you're going to the Super Bowl.
So then who are you giving the majority of the snaps to?
And that's something that we can also discuss when we talk about the draft strategy.
Yeah.
A guy that I pounded the table for relentlessly to trade for was Tyler Algier.
Yep.
I am obsessed with Tyler Algier. And if you like the way that Dobbins runs and you like Dobbins' game, then you would love Tyler Algier, who rushed for 1,000 yards on a bad Atlanta team his rookie year, and then, of course, has been overshadowed by Bijan Robinson, who is the best running back in the NFL, understandably so. You bring Tyler Algier in here, he is easily a 1,200-yard rusher if he becomes your bell cow. That allows R.J. Harvey a little bit more time to develop. He can still be your joker, I guess, if you want to saddle him with that. And then you go out and you draft another running back, someone like a Mike Williams out of Arkansas who's 6'2", 235, and will probably run a sub 4.5 40.
He's 6'.
That's what you do. And you have J.K. Dobbins lying in wait. And then if and when you need him, then you go get him. I'm not saying to, move forward with RJ Harvey and Jaleel McLaughlin and Tyler Bidet. No. This running back room needs a complete and entire makeover. I love Jaleel McLaughlin's story. I'm fine if he never plays it down again for the Broncos.
Ooh.
I like Tyler Bidet's story. He is immensely underwhelmed. I'm fine with never seeing him in a Broncos uniform ever again. Best of luck somewhere else. The only guy that you're definitively keeping in this room is R.J. Harvey. And if you don't feel confident in J.K. Dobbins being able to stay healthy, then I'm okay with not bringing him back as long as you go out and you get a Tyler Algier. And if you're not going to get a Tyler Algier, go get a Breece Hall, Pat. You want to talk about a guy whose value is as low as it will ever be? That's Breece Hall right now, who is part of arguably the worst organization in all of sports. And I think people have forgotten how good Breece Hall is. As a Denver fan, I'm well aware of how good Breece Hall is because pretty much every time we've played against him, he's absolutely cooked us. His value is low. Maybe he signs a 1-year prove-it deal here. Let him prove it, and you go forward. He's only 25 years old. He's younger than Bo Nix, and he's just finished his rookie contract. So let's run through some of these other free agents. Give me your final verdict on Dobbins.
Yeah, I think sign him to a 1-year prove-it deal, or even like a 1+1, with an option. Something short term, and not a lot of risk to it. Bunch of incentive, I think, is probably the way to go because he is a good dude and
it's fantastic.
A tough runner. Just got to stay healthy, man. But yeah, I think trading for a proven guy like Algier or signing Breece Hall to probably a similar deal, like a 2-year deal, would be the best course of action. The running back market is not going to be very good. Saquon Barkley is not going to be walking through that door anytime soon. And you're not going to throw millions and millions of dollars at Christian McCaffrey or the ghost of. So I think your best course of action is take the cheaper veteran options, because you don't need to spend a bunch of money in that room, and then draft another guy. Like Jaleel McLaughlin, fine, whatever. You want to keep him around for fuck knows what, then sure. Like he can run duo really well. And he's pretty shifty, but like ball security is an issue, clearly a tell. I don't know. I think that they're better off going with those options.
Let me hit you with this really quick. We assume that they're going to keep a fullback. Let's assume it'll be between Burton and Prentice. Obviously, they brought Prentice aboard when Burton got hurt. Maybe Burton retires.
This isn't often.
Honestly,
yeah.
I know he's getting up there, but if you had a choice just for next year, are you going with Prentice or Burton?
I think I'm going with Prentice. Love Michael Burton. I think but fullback is a very important position in this offense, especially in the run game. Prentice has proved that he can handle that load. Younger, pretty much the same measurables. No offense, Mike, but you just got hurt with a season-ending injury. Take the time that you need. Go live your life. Yeah, it's time. You got a Super Bowl.
Kodiak said he really wants Troutman and Kroll and LJH and Atkins to come back. Kodiak, if you're watching, Kodiak also does incredible content over, I think it's on his TikTok and his YouTube channel. Check him out, Kodiak Broncos. We've had him on the show before.
I'd take Kroll
phenomenal talent.
I mean,
take Kroll out of there.
Take Kroll out of there.
Troutman's an unrestricted free agent. Are you bringing Troutman back?
He'll probably be back on a 1-year deal. I don't see why. He's gonna get reps here. He's a decent blocker in the run game. You're not going to use if you want to go more 2 tight end sets, dude, Troutman, if you replaced Troutman with Sadiq in the same reps, Sadiq is doing I feel like he's doing just as good of a job, if not better, as a blocker than Adam Troutman is, but he is a much better threat after the catch. Add in the fact that he's played with Bo Nix before, they have a relationship. He's a smart kid. You're not going to tell me otherwise. You're just not going to tell me. But I do think that Troutman comes back in some form or fashion. Maybe they move off of Ingram. Who knows? But Kroll, get him the fuck off of my team. Adkins can absolutely stay. LJ has to stay at this point. I think we have proved that LJ is.
I think I need to get you a Lil Jordan Humphrey jersey, but then instead of Humphrey on the back, it says not that Lil.
He ain't that
Lil on the back. Really quick, I think the writing's on the wall with John Franklin Meyer. He came out and said there's been no communication. I think we've known that for a while. Maybe something happens. I would obviously love to keep him around, but they signed Malcolm Roach, which I thought was phenomenal. And depending on how much they like Savion Jones, who maybe they're hoping is going to be the heir apparent, obviously a much cheaper option than JFM. And I think JFM is going to get a bag, Pat. He's played incredibly well in his time here. And I think that's really what it comes down to is the Broncos know that a team is going to pay him a bag. They're going to back up a bit of a Brinks truck for him. And so, that seems like a foregone conclusion. And then we'll say 3 more interesting names, but 2 specifically, Justin Strnad and Alex Singleton. Greenlaw obviously is under contract. I was a big Lavelle Bailey fan, but I know he barely got his feet wet. And then who is I'm spacing on his name, the kid from Utah.
Oh, Kareem Reed.
Kareem Reed. Drew Sanders is a ghost. I'm not committing anything to Drew Sanders until he proves that he exists. But with Strnad and Singleton, remember, Strnad was this close to signing elsewhere, and he pivoted. It ended up coming back to Denver 2 off seasons ago. Ended up being great for us because Singleton was hurt last year. Greenlaw was hurt a lot this year. And honestly, between the two, Pat, I'm taking Stranad. Call
Yeah.
me crazy. Like, you know
No.
that you're going to get the special teams
No.
production. I really like what you get out of Stranad when he fills in. Like, I'm preferably he's not your starting line. He's not one of your starting linebackers going into
No,
next
but
year.
you
But I
rotate him
think he
in.
brings sure, like they did,
Yeah.
right? And I think he
Yeah.
brings more value. But like our opinion of Alex Singleton has been pretty well versed. And then here's the thing, like for the most part, I thought he had a very good year. I thought he overperformed this year. He did a lot more than I thought he would coming off of that ACL tear.
Yeah.
What are you
I will
doing
say
in
that.
this situation with these two guys?
I honestly, I think it depends on what kind of money he is asking for. Like, there's some good linebackers in this class, but are they good linebackers for Vance's system? I mean, you can't go wrong with a Georgia linebacker. Just don't let him near a Hellcat.
Yeah. Well, wait, Cody, we love Q Robinson. He's an edge rusher, and
Dude,
obviously he's going to be here for years to come.
yeah,
And specifically, George Payton singled him out and said that he probably had the highest ceiling out of that entire draft class, which is high praise.
And we knew that. Like, we knew that he was going to be a dude coming into the season. It just sucks because they're so deep at that spot now.
Yeah.
It's almost like you've got this like massive log jam, right? You can only keep so many guys. But it just kind of depends on the Singleton stuff. Like it depends on how much money he's asking for, what type of deal, dealing with the ACL, dealing with the cancer. But like, man, in pass coverage, Singleton was god awful. He is trying to communicate, and I understand that, but like, dude, you get caught looking so many times. Anything outbreaking, I'm literally just running bench at Alex Singleton the whole game because I know he can't cover a fucking out route to save his life. But like coming downhill, I love his toughness. I love his attitude. Clearly he's a leader, but like at some point, man, we got to move on. He's going to be 32 going on 33 next year. Like, and I love how Justin came out and, like he handled everything like an absolute pro, subbing in for Singleton, subbing in for Greenlaw, playing special teams. He did a fantastic job playing special teams. You want to upgrade a linebacker, you have to move on from both. I disagree with that. I disagree with that 100% because now you're having to replace, you're essentially having to replace two positions, linebacker and someone on special teams to play in Stranad's spot. And before you say, well, we could just put anybody in there, I have literally proven on film that you cannot. Okay, because they tried to do that with Sam Franklin this last year with Tremont Smith, and what the fuck happened with there? So you can't just replace them. It's not fucking Madden. You can't. If you have a good special teamer, you keep that fucking special teamer right where they're at the whole damn time because they are just as valuable as anyone else on the field. Okay. Okay. Then he's probably. Where else is he going to get a starting job? Like,
the grass isn't always greener, my guy.
He's going to play special teams. You're saying it eliminates him from the special teams debate. It most certainly does not. It most certainly does not. You think starters don't play on special teams? They do.
Speaking of special teams, the last unrestricted free agent that I wanted to discuss was PJ Locke. Important on special teams, stepped in for Brandon Jones, had a rough first game, like the first game that he took over full time for Brandon. Mm-hmm. And honestly, Pat, I thought PJ was phenomenal down the stretch. Really didn't miss a beat. Unbelievable in that Buffalo game. And I had even said, like, if Jaquan McMillian doesn't pull off one of the greatest interceptions that you will see, way more people are talking about the interception that PJ Locke had. Absolutely phenomenal play. Maybe, Pat, maybe not even a play that Brandon Jones makes in that situation. We'll never know. PJ is so rangy, and he is a splash play player. I don't know what that contract looks like. I don't know what PJ's expectations are because Hufanga is obviously one of your safeties. Brandon Jones is going to be that other guy. But I think it's important to have a PJ Locke on this team because if Hufanga or Brandon Jones goes down, you know that PJ Locke can step in and kind of seamlessly contribute. And obviously, you're going to get the contribution on special teams. And I think what he brings to this team, it's quiet in a sense, but he's one of these pieces that you're really glad that you have at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think it would be wise, especially if Vance stays here. It would be wise to have PJ stay in the house. Devon Key is a restricted free agent, I think.
Exclusive rights free
Exclusive
agent,
rights.
along with Dondre Tillman, Jordan Jackson, and Matt Henningsen. I think Matt Henningsen is not long for this Denver Broncos world. Dondre Tillman is interesting, and we love Dondre Tillman on this show. We are big fans of him. But what do you do, Pat? Are you continuing to go forward? Are you continuing to go forward with 5 edges? I think Q Robinson, if it comes down to just having 4 guys in that room, I think Q Robinson is getting the nod for more play time. But again, Dondre Tillman, phenomenal special teams player, as was Q Robinson, a big reason that they drafted him. And I think it's fair to say that at this point, Q Robinson's ceiling is much higher than Tillman's. But Tillman's production has always been there. And the thing is, it's an exclusive rights. I don't know shit about that. I know that it's not going to cost them a lot. There's all this funky contract shit. But I think whatever you need to do, you can never have too many good pass rushers. And yeah, TW, I agree with you. You have to keep Tillman, in my opinion. Now, a restricted free agent that, a lot of people were kind of discussing last season, like, do we keep him? And then they draft Jahdae Barron, has now played himself into like 1,000%. You have to keep this guy. It's Jaquan McMillan.
Yeah.
He is arguably the best slot corner in the league right now. Single-handedly won you a couple of games over the last few years. They got to find a way to keep him. You got to extend him, figure out what the going rate is for an elite slot corner, and you pay it. You have to.
Yeah, he really jumped this year. I felt like he was much more impactful. My goodness, his run defense was really good, especially down the stretch too. So
everything he did was great. Yeah,
I think that's a guy that you got to keep around too. Just great attitude too. Just a bad man. So,
Marky has an interesting question here. Not an advocate for this at all, but I can see a world where they may look to trade Cooper if they get a good offer. Will save money, open up playing time for others. Here's my only problem with that. I get that Cooper's production fell off at the back half of the season, and it's not something that you want to see. Had a big sack, granted, on Sunday. And I guess like they would have to blow you away with their offer. But what Jonathan Cooper does really well is it's not necessarily things that are going to show up on the stat sheet, and they might not always pop on film. And another thing that I will tell you, like having spoken to a lot of the guys in the locker room, you have to keep a Jonathan Cooper around as an emotional leader, as a fire starter. I think you lose more than just potential production. Now, if you get offered an early second round pick for Jonathan Cooper, I think that's a really difficult thing to pass up on, assuming that there's someone at that point in the draft that you're wanting to take. But I think you have to think long and hard about potentially dealing Jonathan Cooper, who is phenomenal in the locker room and phenomenal on the field, even though it wasn't showing up on the stat sheet in the second half of the season.
Yeah. I mean, that's a world that I would not like to live in because I don't want to live in a world where Jonathan Cooper is not on the Denver Broncos.
I don't want to live in that world either.
Surtain for Puka. Yeah. Sean McVay is hanging up the phone immediately.
All right. First of all, Mark Lawrence, put some respect on the reigning Defensive Player of the Year's name and spell it correctly. Second of all, I don't think that trade is openly benefiting either people. It's like, would I like a Puka Nacua? Of course. Who wouldn't like a Puka Nacua? But you're completely comfortable going into that season with Riley Moss as your number one cornerback? Settle down, Mark Lawrence.
You could have had Puka Nacua. and you passed
in
on
the
it.
5th round.
In the
A lot of
5th
people
round.
did repeatedly.
Jesus. Yeah. Remember Champ Bailey for fucking Clinton
For
Portis?
Clinton Portis.
Yeah. How'd
How
that
did
turn out?
and how did that play out for the Redskins, Pat?
Well, I mean, he rushed for like 2,000 yards at one point. That's not bad.
Man, Nikki B1119 freaking love J Mac. Find a way to keep him and PJ. PJ, knowing Vic's system, can fill right in like he did, stays active on special teams. Don't we dare think about letting Coop walk. Jay Coop makes a huge difference. Hey, Nikki, thank you so much.
Sir?
Nikki, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the super chat. That's amazing. Really, really appreciate it.
Whose system, sir? Vic's system?
He said VJ.
You said Vic. Okay.
Did I say Vic?
You did. Hilarious. Okay. I want to point out.
That's a really bad Freudian slip, because remember when he had to like run a combo of his system and Vic's, and then they gave up 70 points?
No, he does know
and then
Vic's
they were like,
system.
you know what? Just do your thing, VJ. And that was the turning point. Ooh, yeah. Not Vic's system.
Jaquan McMillan, last year, most targeted slot cornerback in the NFL, gave up the most catches, most yards after catch, almost 400 yards of yak last season. This season, okay, second most targeted slot cornerback in the NFL, gave up the second most catches, 425 yards, but 190 yards after the catch, nearly a 200-yard difference in yards after the catch. His passer rating for the season, fifth best, 67.9 NFL passer rating when thrown to, right up there with Cooper DeJean. Gave up 0.83 yards a snap. They got to resign this guy.
No brainer. Two more guys really quick, Pat, and then we'll get just a little glimpse into like draft strategy, and then we'll call it a night. Devon Key, exclusive rights free agent. Again, yes. I've Googled exclusive rights free agent. I still don't understand it. It might as well be Latin to me. All I know is you're keeping Devon Key. Period. Yeah. You're keeping him. I think you have to put like some sort of pick tender on him, and then like a team would have to give up, or they offer him something and then you have to match it. Whatever it is, you're keeping him. And the last name, restricted free agent, that could be very, very, very interesting, Pat. Mm-hmm. Alex Palczewski, who could potentially be the heir apparent for Ben Powers or McGlinchey. Now, let me take you back 2 seasons, Pat, when McGlinchey got hurt and Palczewski stepped in.
Yes.
Didn't see much of a drop-off. Now, I prefer him as a guard.
Not Frank
But that's another guy that I think, if you want to get a little bit cheaper on the offensive line and you want to maybe make Ben Powers a cap casualty, and I don't know what the cap hit is, if you end up releasing him or if you end up waiving him. But I am more than comfortable going forward with Palczewski over Powers at this point.
I am too. That's not even a question for me. I loved what I saw. The fact that he got a Pro Bowl vote, like somebody out there saw.
No, an all Pro vote. He was shocked.
That's crazy. Somebody out there saw.
There's one voter out there that knows ball. That really knows ball, because that's quite a pull. Before we get out of here, man, and I know we talked a little bit about the draft, and you and I are in complete agreement. You go up and get Sadiq. I don't care if you need to go into the top 10. Like, you see what Colston Loveland has been able to do for the Bears. You saw what Tyler Warren's been able to do for the Colts. I think Sadiq could be one of the absolute biggest missing pieces for this offense. And you have to go get a wide receiver as well. And so the reason that I wanted to say like draft strategy, here are my only 2 options right now. And I'm going to be team do not pick at 30 for this entire process. I don't care what new information I get. I'm on board for you are trading up for either Kenyon Sadiq, one of the big 3 wide receivers coming out, or you are straight up trading the 30th pick for a Jalen Waddle, or brace yourself, an AJ Brown, a definitive number 1 wide receiver.
I don't know if I love that. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm going to be pounding the table for, because and here's the thing, and what I want to say and why I'm okay with, like, they got a lot of picks. Their team is pretty much in place. You have a few pieces that you need to shore up, Pat. Fuck them picks at this point. If you need to trade the rest of this draft, or like 4 other picks to move up to go get Sadiq, or go get a Jordan Tyson, or go get the freaking the kid from, my God, who's the Ohio State? Carnell Tate. Man, you go get one of those guys, trade up for them. You need a weapon. You need a definitive number 1 wide receiver. And as much as I love Courtland Sutton, and as important as he is to this team, he's a wide receiver 2 right now. You need to go get a wide receiver 1. So you are either going to trade your ass up and go get one of them, or you go ahead and trade that 30th pick for a wide receiver 1.
What do you mean?
Because there's no free agents, Pat. There's no free agents worth bringing in to potentially, like, if you want to get like a spot guy, like a Juwan Jennings could be a fun name. He's not going to be your wide receiver 1. They desperately need the guy, a pure playmaker, to be wide receiver 1.
But what do you mean by that?
I wish I knew. Well,
what do you mean by wide receiver 1?
Okay,
like,
Pat,
what is the definition?
it's like, okay, let me tell you. It's like how they used to describe porn in the 90s. They're like, well, I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. And I did not see a single wide receiver on this team this past year who is a star playmaker that can get you the tough yards, that can break tackles, that can get the yards after the catch, that can break a game open.
Okay. Yeah, like I think that they need someone like that. Like, they do need a playmaker like that. I think that there's still a world where we can find one of those players, and Courtland Sutton is still on this football team, because he's still a great X receiver. They're training Pat Bryant to be the next Courtland Sutton. This is literally Demaryius Thomas, Courtland Sutton situation, right?
Which is crazy that there's ever a comparison, because again, I love Courtland Sutton. Demaryius Thomas is so much better than Courtland Sutton.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. But like Demaryius,
real quick, Pat, this is hilarious to me. Really quick, Harrison Bryant and Najee Harrison coming while George goes to the podium and says, "We like what we have."
That one,
I would be so mad. I would be so mad.
I think that, like, Marvin Mims is not that type of receiver. I'm sorry, you guys keep trying to push that agenda. Please watch the tape. Please watch the tape. Demaryius Thomas was like the perfect X receiver. Courtland Sutton is an X receiver in the same way that Mac Hollins is an X receiver, right? They're big bodies. They can block. They can catch some passes sometimes. Courtland is a very good route runner, where Mac Hollins is not. But yeah, it's just they need a good X in this offense, and I think Pat Bryant can be that guy. He's big. He can run great routes. He can create space, but like, he can create space as an X. They need a true Z. That's what they need.
And I'll say this, man. I asked Pat Bryant about this, like where he would prefer to be. He wants to work out of the slot. He said he thinks that he can do some of his best work out of the slot.
But that's all
for what it's worth.
They can put the X in the slot. Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. It means
put it all on black. He said at the casino, red or black chat. Actually, you know what? Put it on 00. $100 on 00.
Good
Black
Lord.
18.
Anyways, no, I think they'll find that guy, and whether that is Waddle or whether that's, fucking someone else, but they just need someone who can create some space. That's it, and catch the goddamn ball.
Marky, I love you. You're fantastic. I've had you on the show, and I'm going to see you on Saturday.
Alec Pierce.
I need you to stop. I need you to, Marky, look at me. Look at me, Marky. Stop with your wide receiver takes on my show. Okay? First, it was A.T. Perry and how good he was. And you know what? I caved, okay? I played your little game. A.T. Perry's like Drew Sanders. He doesn't exist, okay? He's an entity, okay? He's a ghost, all right? So stop with the Alec Pierce wide receiver ones. Stop with the A.T. Perry. Marky, you are officially banned from ever talking about receivers on altitude adjustment ever again.
All right. Are we done?
I know that AT was always a joke. Oh, no. And just like Alec Pierce being our wide receiver one is a joke. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy, Marky. I like
Pierce
you.
Would be a good X
funny
in this
guy.
offense. He would be.
That's the last wide receiver take that you get to have.
Oh. All right.
Anything else for we get out of here, Pat? Plug your incredible show. You just did a show with Terrell freaking Davis. I cannot wait to watch that. Oh,
Not my first time.
How cool was that?
Not my first time. I have done a show with Terrell before.
Fuck you, Pat.
No, he's awesome. He's great, dude.
What are you doing wasting time with me, man? That's crazy.
Stop. Don't ever say that. No, Terrell's awesome. Go listen to the show Believe in Broncos on the Believe Network with myself and Bree Maestas. She is awesome as always. Yeah, Terrell's a cool cat, dude. He's got some great stories. You can go watch the show with Chris and I when we interviewed him. He tells some really good stories in that one. So go check out the show and go follow me on Twitter for really bad sports takes.
I mean, it's like bad, like Michael Jackson bad. And bad means good.
Yeah. I'm putting my red zone. Putting my red zone plan together for next season. Yeah. I'm gonna use mesh in the red zone and have them run into zone defenders. It's gonna be great. Like Marvin Mims, baby.
Let's check one last Mims dig before the offseason officially starts. Let's ask Coach Payton. Coach, how did we do tonight?
Gosh, your own little internet shows are driving me crazy.
Damn it.
Well, you know what? You should have fucking kicked a field goal on 4th and 1, you little punk ass bitch. My name's Mario Batanzi. That's Patrick Keogh.
I don't approve of that.
See you next week. Maybe not. I don't know. It's the off season. Who gives a shit? Maybe I'll have Patrick on here and make him talk about the Nuggets in the Appalachian. We'll see y'all later. Goodbye. Love you.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit